welcome to Flosstube number 12. It's been 3 weeks since we've last seen each other, so I'm 1 week early, and I will explain why. I suddenly decided to move house, and I looked for a new place and very quickly found one, and then very quickly could arrange the move. So I am currently in my new place. And I love it. It's very, very nice. I have a lovely view. I have a pretty wall. So yeah, I'm very happy with my new place. I've not moved completely, so if I look a bit tired, it's because I've been back and forth and still working full time. That's still ongoing. So it's been a bit busy. But today it's Saturday, and I thought I'll just have a day with just fun stuff. So this morning I went over to a lovely place in town nearby, and I had a coffee and a nice breakfast. And then I did some shopping, and now I'm here filming a Flosstube because I enjoy doing that. So that's where I am at the moment. And that's why I come in a bit earlier, because next week I'll be packing all my other stuff so that the professional movers can move me over. So there is that. Other than that, I would like to start with a thank you, because my last video, it's very weird how YouTube works, because it suddenly went sky high in views and I got so many new subscribers. It was just, I never know how it works. It might come from the fact that Sarah Stitchy Spot, so Sarah from Sarah Stitchy Spot, did a shout out on her Flosstube channel, and I know a lot of people watch her. But even so, I think there's quite a lot of people who came from different ways. So again, I don't know how YouTube works. I have no idea, but it was interesting and very nice, and all the nice comments that people leave behind. It's just so kind. So thank you very much for that. And I hope you're tuning in again. For those who've been watching me over the past 11 Flosstubes, thank you for still being here and tuning in. I do really appreciate it. So thank you. And if you're new here and this is the first Flosstube you're watching, then you are very welcome, and I hope you like what you see. My name is Hanneke, and I just do cross stitch. I sometimes do a bit of card making, but at the moment it's just cross stitch. Right, so next to me I have a fully finished, and I have 2 finishes, one of which is a new start as well, so it's a small one. And then I have 5 progress to show you. I have a winner for the twin sheet giveaway that I put out last time, and I have a question for a new start. So we will get through all that, and then this Flosstube will be finished. But let's start at the beginning. So I always start with my fully finished objects, and this one is another art mini. So I have done 5 now. I finished 5 of them, and as you all know, I love making these. They are from Nikkipatterns, and I kept saying Nikkipatterns with an S at the end. That's not true. It's Nikkipatterns on Etsy. And she has a lot of these, so it's little paintings. It's normal paintings, but then in a small cross stitch mini, 50 by 60 stitches. And this is I started this last time, and I started it. Oh, I've got a bit more glare here. Sorry, I'm still figuring out with the light and everything and what the best place would be. So I do find that I have a bit more glare here. Because this is always framed with glass, and I frame all of them in a similar frame, either silver or gold, and then I frame it with the glass. So this is Odilon, not sure how to say that. Last time I just had the background a bit at the bottom, and as you can see, it has a lot of colors. It's a beautiful vase of flowers, and I think it is very, very pretty. I will try to put it closer to the camera without having all the glare. Sorry, I can't really get it properly. No, let me just try something else. Sorry, I'm just figuring this out. See if this helps. Because the light is coming from up there. No, that's not doing anything. Oh, there you are. That's quite good. This again is not a color combination I would pick, like the pink and the turquoise and the dark red at the bottom. I wouldn't necessarily go for that. But seeing it all together, I'm really liking it. And it is a lovely addition to all my art minis. And I will be making more. So I'm not sure about the next one. I saw one with like a Dutch landscape. I think it's Monet that painted that. But I might pick something else because I do like my bouquets of flowers, and there's quite a lot of them. So I might pick one of those. But this one, I'm really happy with this one. So that's my first fully finished. And then I have two finishes. And the first one is a new start as well, because I just wanted to stitch something with bright colors, not too difficult, a small one. I think it was because I was looking for another place, I was busy working, and then I just like something easy to stitch. And I found this from Durene Jones. She is a well-known designer, designs for a lot of magazines. And she also has an Etsy shop. And this one is from her Etsy shop. And it is 4 bright birds. And I will put that on the screen somewhere. And I think this is just so pretty. It has lovely, lovely colors. And I thought I can stitch those. And maybe I can make this into cards. So I will look into that when all my stuff is here. I will try to make a card out of this. So that's why I haven't fully finished anything. And this is the first one. Now I think this is very, very pretty. These colors are beautiful. I'll try to put it closer to the camera. And I will make all 4 of them. They are very quick. They are genuinely very quick to make. Right, this. There you go. That's better. That's better. It has quite a lot of colors in, so don't be fooled. It has several pinks, several oranges, several yellows. So it's very similar to the stitches by Shanna Christine, where you have all these different shades of one color, and then it becomes very pretty. But it means you have to do a lot of color changes here and there. But yeah, I loved stitching this. It was over in a flash. Loved it. There's a little bit of back stitching, but that is just at the eye and the legs and the butterfly a little bit. So yeah, I love this one. Love it. So I will make the others as well, and I will try and see if I can make it into cards. I think that would be nice. At the same time, I've seen cross stitch on cards before, and it's quite difficult, I think, to make it. Yeah, it's just quite difficult. And I would like to use some other techniques with it. I like to make 3D flowers from paper. So I think that would go well with this. So I have it in my head. And if I can make it work, it'll be lovely. But we'll see if I can ever get to that. Then I have another fully finished, and this one was for my sister, is still for my sister. This is from Nikkipatterns, and it is a landscape, and it is 100 by 100 stitches. And I loved this. I think I've made it in 8 weeks or so. It's just very pretty. It's very bright. And it's just, even though it's not that big, I think it's just lovely. And I am considering on how to frame this. I was thinking about a hoop. I've got quite nice hoops. So I might still do this, but my sister said I actually really like it, so I would like to frame it. I have no experience with round frames, and I wouldn't want to put this in a square frame. I don't think I would like that. So if any of you has any experience with round frames, please let me know, because for now I'll just wait for a bit and see what to do with it. I think this is lovely. The colors are lovely. Colors are absolutely lovely on this piece. Like this, it's just lovely, isn't it? Yeah, this was it's not confetti, so you can go, I think that's why it stitched up so quickly. You can just keep going with one color for quite a while. But still, the effect I think is really, really nice. So this one is for my sister, and I will look into how to frame or not to frame. And if, I can always frame it into the hoop that I have, which is a DMC hoop like this. So this is plastic, but it looks quite like wood, fake wood. And I think that would be nice, but it is slightly big. I am so bad still with looking at the screen and putting it the right way. So it will be like this. So yeah, it is nice. I might do it like this. These frames are really nice and relatively cheap. So there you go. That's my third finish. And there's another one. Well, she actually has 4 of these, and 2 of them have pink flowers on it. And I don't think I'll stitch those. But the other one is with similar colors as this one. So I think I'll make that one as well. And then both of them will be for my sister. So that's that. And then we have my whips, works in progress. Now there's one whip that is still in my other apartment, and that is Leonid Afremov. So the piece with all the colors and the woman walking in the rain. And I did stitch on it. I think I stitched about 350, 400 stitches, but it's not here, so I can't show you. Now the first whip I want to show you is also a new start. I had bought the black Ada 18 count at the fair that I went to in Belgium. And I was still looking for a pattern for this. And when I looked on Etsy, I found a mandala pattern. And I will put it on the screen. And this one had white as a background. So it was in my favorites. It actually been in my favorites for quite a while. But I always thought, well, it's not perfect. And then I clicked on it recently and I scrolled through the pictures, and then I saw the same pattern, but then in black, on black. And I thought that was just perfect. So I decided to use some of my black fabric and stitch that mandala on blue. So this is my start. And there you go. I think that is very pretty. But don't be fooled again, because I thought this will be quite easy because it's a pink flower and it's a yellow orangey flower. So I thought it wouldn't be that many color changes. Now, working at it, it is a lot of color changes. So like this little bit has, I think, 4 colors of pink in it. Oh, the light is not helping. There you go. That's a bit better. And then this little thing, every row basically is another color. So the darkest is on the outside, and then you keep using a lighter color as you go to the middle. And this little pink flower has, I think, 3 or 4 colors pink in. So it is a lot of color changes. Added to that, because it's not full coverage, I don't want to pull my threads over because I don't want them to show through. And for now, I've been sticking to that. I've managed it, but I might give up on that because it means that I keep having to stitch 3 or 4 stitches and then put the thread away, get another thread. So it is a bit of it is difficult stitching. But the result is so pretty. It is so pretty. And I think this is a beautiful pattern. So I do want to stitch it. And stitching on black is difficult, but I was watching Annemiek van de Handwerk Boutique. She has a Dutch shop in Roden, and she just very quickly said at some point just that you could put a white towel on your lap, and that would help, and then have proper light, obviously. And I did that, and that really helped. So I just have a white towel on a pillow. I usually have a pillow on my lap, and then I have a white towel on top of it, and that really helps with this kind of stitching. So yes, I love this pattern, but it is difficult and very time consuming. But it has such bright colors, and I love that. And because you do so many color changes, because I could just stop doing that and just pick my own colors, obviously, but because you do so many color changes, it does come out lovely. So it does add to the pattern. So that's that. And this is on an 18 count. So, you know, I haven't made this one easy in any way. It's on black, it's 18 count, and then it's a lot of color changes. So yeah. The next one I stitched on is Grayswood Designs, I think. Is it Grayswood? I think so. And this is a beautiful pattern, but it's also quite difficult. Parts of it are difficult. So I have stitched all of this second circle. So that might not look like a lot, but it is actually quite a lot. And this fabric is lovely. It is, I think, an 18 count as well. And it is darker than you see on the screen. I always have that with these blue-grey ones. It was the same with my winter birds that didn't come out right. And I stitched this with Soie d'Alger, the whitest white. And I ordered the whitest white, but I wasn't sure because there are 2 that claim to be white. So I sent Annemiek at the Handwerk Boutique a message saying, I do really want the whitest white. So she made sure. And yeah, so the border is fine. It's not difficult. I haven't done anything on the border this time, but these are very, very intricate. And it's very easy to forget a stitch here or there. But yeah, it's really pretty. And I do tend to load several needles and then just keep stitching for a while. It's lovely. It's quite a big pattern, this one. So this will take some time. But that's okay. And I use 1 strand for those who are wondering. And as you can see, it's nice coverage. It's absolutely fine. And with white on a colored fabric, I prefer to stitch with 1 strand. I think I've done quite a lot of Shannon Christine patterns where I had these sort of beige background, beige light brown, and then with 2 strands of DMC white, it wouldn't always come out as nice. But with this one, it's perfect with 1 strand. And silk covers very differently, I think. Then I have a pattern that I didn't show last time because I hadn't worked on it much, but this time I did work on it quite a lot, which is Petit Carre from Lin Pulsion. I think that's how I say it, on Etsy. And I am working away on this one. So as you can see, I've worked all the way to the other corner and can now work my way up on the border. And then I've added 3 of these squares as well. So I am past the halfway point, which is there. Yeah, this is very pretty. Now the pattern itself is in red and blue. Red and blue are not my favorite colors. So I chose different colors, and I am using a variegate, no, not variegate, I keep saying that, it's a multicolored DMC that has pink in it. It's sort of dark pink, lighter pink, and then a dark brown and a light brown. And sometimes when you look at it from a certain way, the brown looks like a dark green, like an army green. So yeah, it is very pretty. And then and I only use that, so the multicolored one, I use that for the outside border and for the line that is here. And then all the rest is stitched with the colors separately that are used in that multicolored thread. And I think it is working out really nice. That's not my idea, by the way. I've seen that on stitch alongs that others chose to do that, and I loved the effect. So I decided to do that too, and I found an overview somewhere online of which colors correspond with the different multicolored threads. So that's how I got to it. And this is lovely stitching. It's easy stitching as well, with a lovely result. This is on a 18 count as well. I stitch quite a lot on 18 count these days. Yeah, it's really pretty. I love this. I love this. I know my mum loves it as well. I brought it with me when we went on holiday to Ameland. So, Mum, this is where I am. Very, very pretty. I'll try to show close up. I know some of you like that. For those who are new to this channel, I stitch in hand, which is also probably why I use a lot of Aida, because it's easier when you stitch in hand. I also like Aida because I think the stitches come out very neat. I usually stitch on Aida. I have one work in progress that is not on Aida, that is on an even weave. But I haven't stitched on that in a while. So other than that, I'm very much an Aida stitcher, and I love it. And I use the loop start if I can, which is great. Someone taught me that on YouTube. I was very happy to learn that. And then when I don't use the loop finish. I just do, I think, a regular finish. So yeah, but I do stitch in hand. I don't use a hoop or anything. I just hold the fabric. I sometimes roll it so that I can hold it properly, but that's it. The next one is a Bothy thread kit. I bought this when I was in Isle of Wight, and it is a lovely kit. I wasn't sure when I bought it. I wanted to try a Bothy thread kit, and I just want to see how it, because it's always a bit different. You know, each kit provider, seller, it's Magic Needle is different to Bothy threads, and Lanart is different to Vivako. So everything is has their own way. And I really like the Bothy threads. Now the only thing I don't like about it is that they cut the threads very short. So it's already packaged for you, and then they suggest to you, why don't you use a loop start, which is what I normally do. But then they have the threads so very, very short that I really can't do a loop start. I'm just trying to find a floss so I can show you. See, here we are. So I'm sorry, it's a bit of a mess, but they do package it for you. But normally I'm used to having strands till about, here. So you can actually fold it and use the loop start. But this is actually quite short. So these for me are way too short for a loop start because it means I can do, I think I counted it at one point. It was 18 to 20 stitches with one thread that you fold together to start. And if I can only do 20 stitches, to me that's just not enough. I like my thread as long as I can. So that's the only thing I don't really like on this piece. I don't use the loop start on this one because this is just too short for me and I just grabbed 2 strands of floss instead. I do think it's very neatly packaged, by the way. So this is nice to work with. Now I will show you my progress. So it is the little mouse. So it begins, I think it's called. And I chose to stitch the green version. So you also have thread for the pink, to stitch it with the pink thread. It's thread, yeah. Is this a bobbin? I'm not sure if this is called a bobbin. But there you are, that's half of it done, basically. So it stitches very, very quickly. I think I've started a bit too high, but I'll be absolutely fine still. And I could have stitched more to the side and have some left over, but there you go. But this is quickly stitched. It's easy to read, the pattern is easy to read, and yeah, it's just lovely, lovely to stitch. It is a 14 count. I don't often stitch on 14 count, but with this one it's fine. It's nice fabric. The holes are not too big, so that does make it look neat. And I do like that. I've done a little bit of back stitching on that needle just because I wanted to see the effect. I don't really like back stitching. It's not my favorite. But on this one, it was needed because I was wondering, where is that needle? The moment I put the back stitching in, there it was. So I am now moving over to the little mouse. And I'm really loving it. So I will definitely stitch more Bothy threads in the future. Like I said last time, there is one with mushrooms and little mouses. And I think that is just so cute. So I might get that one next. But yeah, this is an easy stitch. So if you are wondering if you should try a Bothy thread kit, I can only recommend it. It's absolutely lovely. And you get obviously more than enough fabric. You get, from what I can see so far, more than enough floss as well. So yeah, happy with that. Happy with that progress. And then I have been stitching on my landmarks. Now, I really like my landmarks. I'm still aiming to stitch 54 of the landmarks. They are by TeenyWeenyXStitch, I think. Not sure. I will put that in the description box. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. They are small. They are 39 by 45, so they are really small. And I stitched them all together on one 18 count fabric. And they are all full coverage. So there you go. I have been stitching two more, 2 at the top. Now this one is in Ireland and I have to look this up. So I'm learning as I go, as I stitch this. This is Newgrange in Ireland. And if I can, I will try to put a picture of Newgrange next to it somewhere on the screen so you can see how it translates to the stitch pattern. And then next to that is the, and I don't know how to say this properly in English, I'm going to go with the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. Now I think that's lovely. Now if you think, oh, I might try some of that as well, the good thing about this is that these colors really mix and match. So often the basic color, so like 3033 is in all of them. The same goes for 747, 37, 5, 6, which is a light blue. So that means that it's sort of so that it works together. I think the one in Portugal on the side there has quite dark red in it and a bit of orangey colors. And that will come back later on in others. So that will blend in nicely. Yeah, I'm really loving these. And I think they come out so nice, even though they are small. Now the next on the series, I will stitch this one, and that is the Colosseum in Rome. So I look forward to stitching that one because it is so well known. And again, it translates very nicely to a little pattern. So there you go. That's already 6 of the 54 done. And I will stitch all of them. I don't know what you think about this, but because this is full coverage, you can sort of see how the fabric pulls tight, and then there's extra fabric here that annoys me a bit at times. But I'm sure it will correct itself as I keep going and keep going. So yeah, I think this is really nice. I like this. I haven't decided yet whether I want to stitch a dark there's one stitch in between here. I leave one stitch open. And I'm not sure whether I want to stitch that with a certain dark color, maybe dark gray, or whether I want to leave that white. So if you have any ideas, you let me know. Because yeah, I think it might be nice with a dark border in between. But we'll think about that. I will try to show a close-up. Now the Hermitage, I don't think is stitched as neatly as I want it, because I use the sewing method of stitching, and if I stitch this one, I can just go from right to left, and then I turn the whole piece round, and again I go from right to left to go back. So I keep turning my fabric around so that I can stitch always from right to left with the same technique. Then the stitches lay exactly perfectly. But because this is a lot of going up rather than from the side, I still do that in hand. I still have a technique to do that, but I find that the stitches lay slightly less neat. So I prefer, whenever I can, I try not to stitch up or down, but if I have to, I can. But I prefer to stitch from right to left. So there you go. On to the Colosseum. That will be my next one. So that's all my progress. And I think I've done absolutely fine. Now next time there might be slightly less progress given the move. But then again, I like stitching, so I might just keep stitching. Now I have a lovely colleague and she is getting her second baby. And I thought I can stitch a little bib. I think bib is the word for this. So I got this Rico bib, which those of you who've watched Flosstube 1, for instance, yeah, I think definitely Flosstube 1, I show you a Rico tablecloth, and I also show you stitching on a towel, and that towel is also from Rico Designs, and this one is also from Rico Designs, and all of this is very good quality, so that's why I love this. So I really searched for this, and luckily a little shop here in Middelburg still had the white, because all the white was sold out, and I prefer to stitch on a white bib. So I was quite happy to find 2 of them, and I got both of them. And now I'm trying to figure out what to put on this. And I have been looking on Etsy, and at some point I even went to Pinterest just because I wanted some ideas. And I have been struggling to find something that is just cute And yeah, that's just cute. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. It is 30 stitches like this. Like this, I'm not entirely sure, but it's plenty. But like up, it's only 30. So I've seen quite a few little owls, for instance, little critters, but they always are just a little bit more than 30. So that's a shame. I've looked at small birds. I might do that, but I've seen one train in an old magazine, but it's always difficult to find the right magazine. So if any of you has any idea, or you can point me to someone on Etsy, or then please just let me know, because I haven't found anything yet. And I'd love to stitch it with some bright colors. Now I have, from a long time ago, I have some colors left, and they are quite bright. And so I figured I could use some of this for whatever it's going to be. But that would be lovely. She knows it's going to be a boy, so I'll probably use a lot of blues and greens. I like that for a boy. So if any of you has any idea what I could stitch on this that will be cute, then please let me know, because I'd love to give it to her as a present. Right, that's my question done. And then we have my giveaway, or actually it is really my mother's giveaway, because she had bought this. Let me just get a sip of my tea. She bought this pattern and then decided not to stitch this one, but to work on others. But she still felt someone might enjoy this pattern. So that's why she sent it to me. And then she said, why don't you give it away to one of your viewers? It is called the Twinchy Project. It is by Carolyn Manning Designs, and it is a paper pattern. And it's very, very nice quality, really. So that's Twinchy, and quite a few of you put it in the comments that you liked it. Again, some of you are said, oh, I'm already stitching a Carolyn Manning. And I was watching yesterday, I think, the 911 Stitcher. I love her. She's a great stitcher. She's quite bubbly on screen, and I just love watching her Flosstubes. And she is stitching a Carolyn Manning as well. And that is, I was actually, second looking, where you don't look at something and then you're like, what did I just see? And the colors are just so pretty. They are bright pink and bright greens. And I thought that one might be nice against my green wall. So I might stitch that one. So I, as you do in Flosstube, you go back and you go back until you have the name down. And I've forgotten it, but I put it down somewhere. And I might stitch that one, because I think the colors, I think I said earlier that the colors of Carolyn Manning, I don't always love, but I like the pattern. But with her stitching, I think the colors come out way brighter on the fabric than they do on the picture of the pattern. So that, yeah, I might stitch that one. I really like that one. So there you go. That's some musings on Carolyn Manning. Anyway, this one is going to Switzerland, and it is going to someone who has a very interesting handle name. So it's to Star Sailor Chevrolet 6484. Now, I always have great questions about how you came up with this name, but that's all right. So if you can send me an email, I will put my email in the description box. Send me an email and I will arrange to have this sent to you. Obviously, put your address in the email, and then I will send this to you. And I hope you will enjoy it. Congratulations. So that's that. And I think that's all my stitching done. Thank you again for taking the time to watch and to quite a lot of you comment, which is very kind. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, then you can subscribe. But yeah, I'm just very happy that people find my channel and enjoy it. And if you have any suggestions, questions, just let me know. Put it in the comments somewhere. For now, I wish you another lovely 3 to 4 weeks. I might be back in 3 weeks again. I might leave it a little longer, but you'll see me back in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much.